Nashville area. Nashville means so much from us for a number of reasons. Obviously, recruiting base, but also our great passionate fan base as well. So obviously looking forward to tonight.
They expect you to win, so what are you going to tell them?
Well, we expect to win, but we're laying the foundation brick by brick, and we're going to do things the right way. And I'm excited because our players have really answered every challenge that we've presented to them. You look at our academics. We had 46 individuals of a 3.0 or higher. Our cumulative GPA was a 2.82, and so that leads me to believe that they're really believing everything that we're talking about. We're talking about being a champion each and every day, not just on the field but off the field.
Brick by brick, that's kind of catching on around the state, isn't it?
It's amazing. It has. Coming to the Caravans, the amount of people that have actually brought their bricks, but it's also caught on in recruiting as well.
What did you find out in spring ball? What you need? I know you said you needed some specialty guys to step up.
Well, I think we still continue to be work in progress, but I think, if you ask me what are the biggest things you're able to accomplish in spring football, I thought we were really able to establish the foundation. And just like we talk about building it brick by brick, it is all about establishing your standard of excellence, how you're going to practice, your habits, your expectations, the way you're going to play, and then obviously, installation of your three schemes. So, I thought that it's very challenging, obviously, because you have 15 practices to try to implement all that, and 3 are without pads. But I thought it was extremely productive, and it's gonna obviously propel us into August.
It's kind of an important area for you recruiting-wise as well. You've worked hard here trying to pick up guys.
Well, it's critical, and obviously there's great high school players in this region, in this area, but also great high school coaches, and we have a tremendous amount of respect for the football here, and it's all about relationships. And again, with all this, we are the University of Tennessee.
Where did you get that from? Where did you pick that up?
Well, we talk about laying a foundation brick by brick, and we have so much great buildings going on, and building is progress. And I'm looking outside my window one day, and I'm watching individuals lay the brickwork, in the foundation of our patio. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, if they forget to lay one brick, or if one brick isn't properly aligned, it's out of place, and they need to start the project over. And it's just like building a football program, is everyone has to be totally aligned. I always speak about total alignment, whether it's our support staff, whether it's our training staff, our equipment staff, our coaching staff, or our players. We're looking for everyone to be all aligned, and that's kind of where the brick by brick started, and it's the basis of a foundation.
You spoke at the Butch days. What kind of hunger do you sense by Tennessee people wanting to get back into a competitive situation?
Well, we talk about everything in our football program of consistency. No matter where we're speaking or doing the Caravan, it's been a high level of consistency when it comes to passion and energy. And our fan base is very hungry. I think they understand the work that needs to be done. They're very well educated. But I sense the hunger. I sense the expectation, the standard which you spoke about, but that's what you want. But our fans have been outstanding, and they've actually really energized me. Is coming in and having sold out environments like tonight, that's what it's all about.
I know you can't tell us specifically about recruiting, but how have you been received now that you've got your feet on the ground? You're not trying to sort of hold the class together, get your own class.
You know what? That's a great point, and I kind of reflected about that today. Is you talk about 90 day in terms of coming in and having 31 days to really establish, relationships in a recruiting class. Now, we're working towards building those relationships. But the one thing I can tell you is Tennessee football right now has a lot of momentum and it has a lot of energy, and I think it's being felt not only within the great state of Tennessee, but throughout the country.
Do you want to temper enthusiasm, or do you want the enthusiasm just to be there with the expectations?
Well, you want enthusiasm to be there. You want the passionate fan base. That's what makes us who we are. It's a pride of who we are. And everyone says that we have the best passionate fan base in the market. So you want that. But also our fans understand that we are building a brick by brick. But our expectations are never going to change, whether it's year 1, year 2, year 3, or year 8. We expect to win.
You don't have any experience as a mason or in carpentry or anything like that?
We'd be in trouble if I was, doing the brickwork. But again, I think it's very symbolic of what we're building at Tennessee. But also, you look at the vision that we have. ability now to have an individual, a young man come in and know that he can reach his full potential, just with the Anderson Training Center as well.
Coach, I know that. Oh, go ahead, Rob.
Coach, you talked about feedback from fans overall, just the hunger and passion. What about specifically? Have you gotten a sense of how much they appreciate you honoring traditions that are around?
Well, they do, and again, that's what makes Tennessee special, is our traditions, and it's all about embracing our traditions, but it's also our players understanding what they're representing. Every time they go to class, every time they're out in the community, every time they in practice, every time they're in a game, it's a part of who we are, but it's all about tradition. And you look at all the great successful football programs, they have great tradition, and there isn't any other college football program in the country that's more rich in tradition than Tennessee.
You came in, you had recruiting, you had spring ball, and you seemed like you were out of a lot of these engagements. But do you ever have any time to take a break? Have you had a rest since you started?
We've not had any time off or not a rest, but you know what? That's what required, when you're the head football coach at the University of Tennessee. But it's not a job, it's a passion. It's a commitment to individuals that are out here tonight, our great passionate fan base, and we're working extremely hard each and every day to put Tennessee back to its rightful place among the elite of college football.
I know you talked about momentum coming out here and things like this. I mean, how much does this build momentum as you move forward?
Well, it does. It's a great time for our fan base to come together to share, the energy that's surrounding it. But also, it's been great for me to really be able to meet our fan base. And I think it's important, though, that they get to know me and they get to know our coaching staff and they get to really know what we're all about.
Which I know you can't talk about the specific kids, but right now you've got what's a consensus top 5 class, and we've got it third nationally. Is that what you would have expected to this point, or we talk about the momentum and everything? I know, was that maybe an eventual goal, and it's a little bit quicker than you thought in terms of getting there?
No, that's what we expect. Obviously we have a tremendous product to sell. And when you have a tremendous product backed by great people, people make a place. It's a place where people want to be. But we're gonna recruit the right student athletes. We don't get caught into the rankings. It's all about the right fit for the University of Tennessee and find the individuals that fit our profile.
Do you ever get really comfortable with that process, or is it one of the you learn something each class, a couple kids here and there, you learn something, or how much more do you know than you did maybe just even a few years ago?
You learn something minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day in recruiting. It's it's all the little nuances, it's all different things. So just like anything, you're always learning, and the big thing is learning from the different things and moving on, but always trying to make yourself better as well.
I guess with no disrespect to the places that you've been, I think the profile here is much higher. Has that been able to change your process much with that, or you be able to get in the door with a couple higher grade kids to begin with, or?
Well, obviously we have a great product to sell, and Tennessee is the highest prolific or highest profile institution you can have, but we're not going to compromise our beliefs. We have a profile, and we recruit to that profile, and we're never going to compromise, no matter where we're at.
Because you guys have obviously
Take 2 more guys.
had some early success recruiting, but in state, did you get the sense coming in that you guys have obviously been out, it's documented, worked established, but it's more of a battleground state than you might have anticipated, with keeping closing the borders?
Well, I think the way recruiting is right now, it's extremely competitive no matter where you're at. And, obviously with all the recruiting publications and all the resources that every institution has, there's really no secrets. And obviously with the inventions of recruiting sites and websites and recruiting sites. So, all I can tell you is this, is we're the state institution of Tennessee. We want individuals that have an affinity for the University of Tennessee, that they know what they're representing, and I think that's big for us.
Speak along the same lines as far as, I know you can't specifically speak to recruits, but with Twitter and social media and kids being able to connect with other kids, how much has that changed the landscape?
Well, it's changed, drastically, and everything is about communication and building relationships. So I think the big thing that's changed, obviously, is the social networking. And what happens now with all these camps going on throughout the country is all these recruits know each other. So, they start forming relationships and talking. So, again, it builds a big energy, a big momentum. And again, there are no secrets, but it's all about relationships.